How much ventilation does your attic need? Stick around as we get into that in the question of the day. What's going on, guys? Matt in the hat. Matt Johnson Real Estate, powered by Keller Williams Diamond Partners. You are tuned in to the hot list. I come to y'all Monday through Friday around 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. We hang out and talk real estate. We talk properties new to the market with recent price reductions or something unique about the property that I want to share with y'all and want y'all to know. I also answer a question of the day that is submitted by a listener of the podcast. To find out how you get your question answered on air, hang out with me till the end. Finally, I recognize and thank a sponsor of the week each and every single week. If you're curious what it takes to become a sponsor of the week and support the hot list, just wait for a few minutes and I will get you that info. So, good Monday morning to everybody. Hopefully, you made it safe from the weekend. You're feeling good, feeling strong, getting ready to roll, and being productive, not just today, but hopefully the remainder of the week as well. Uh, as you guys can see, at least those that are watching this, I am dressed for comfort today. I was supposed to be traveling today. Some of that has changed, so I am in the process of dealing with that. So the property that we are talking about today is a newly listed property. The address is 109 Maple Street in Americus. So it's about 7 miles north of Emporia. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath house. It's got 1,040 square feet of finished space. Currently listed for $142,500, courtesy of Keller Williams One Legacy Partners. This house is a ranch style house. It's got a full basement in it. Nice big corner lot. In the basement, it does have 2 non-conforming bedrooms, plus the second bath is located downstairs as well. Got a nice fenced-in yard. The roof was just replaced in 2020, and the HVAC system was replaced in 2014. Got a front porch out there as well. So if you have any questions about the property itself, all you got to do is click on the link in the description. That's going to take you right to my website so you can see the property for yourself. And if you have any questions, you can contact me directly through my website or give me a call. If you are a pre-approved buyer and not currently working with another agent, I would be happy to set up a time to schedule a showing and take you through the house so you can see the property for yourself. All right, before we get to the question of the day, I do want to recognize and thank our sponsor of the week this week, and that is Schenkel Power Washing and Chimney Sweeping. Best way is just to contact John at 620-794-8430. I know he's done a number of inspections and cleaning for me over the past, as well as a number of my past clients. He does a phenomenal job, very knowledgeable, very thorough, and he makes sure that he protects the area that he's going to be cleaning. That way he doesn't get any type of soot, ash, or Cerakote on the area outside of the chimney. So my clients have absolutely loved that before, that he is very, very thorough with draping and taping everything off to keep the area as clean as possible. I have included a link in the description. That's going to take you right to John's Facebook page. So all you have to do is click that link. It'll take you right there, and you can see what he charges, some of the services that he offers, or again, you can call him 620-794-8430 and talk to him directly. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor of the week, maybe you're a salesperson, manager, sales manager, whatever the case may be, if you're interested in becoming a sponsor of the week, all you got to do is shoot me a message, drop me a comment wherever you're listening to this. We'll have a further conversation about what it takes to become a sponsor of the week and be featured on the hot list. If that's something that you're interested in and we will mesh well together, we will move forward. Not everybody is a sponsor of the week. there's some things that, we just don't see eye to eye on or don't mesh well together. And, that happens from time to time. We just shake hands and part as friends. But all you got to do is shoot me a message, or like I said, leave it in the comments, and I will reach out to you so we can have a further in depth conversation about what it takes to become a sponsor of the week and be featured on the hot list. That's going to bring us to our question of the day. This is my favorite portion of the show. I love doing the question of the day because it not only educates you, the listeners, but there are times where it educates me as the realtor. So if you have a real estate question, you're not sure where to start, I would be happy to be the real estate resource you reach out to and at least start with. So the question of the day: how much ventilation is needed in my attic? That's not something that people typically think of is their attic space, because when you picture your home, you don't see your home as living, breathing kind of thing. I mean, of course, not literally living and breathing, but does have a way of moving air in and out of the house, whether you like it or not. And also, whether you like it or not, or whether you know it or not, this is extremely important to the overall climate control of your home. And one of the best places this happens is actually your unfinished attic space. Attic ventilation is key to the exceptional climate control in your home. This may seem counterintuitive, but think of it like this. Wouldn't you want to keep that warm air in your attic trapped for as long as you can while it's cold outside? Well, what we're going to cover today are reasons for that as well as why, and going to talk about 2 basic attic ventilation tips today. So number 1, we're going to start with attics and heat retention. Now, the attic that I'm going to be referring to throughout this podcast and this episode today is going to be unfinished attic space. And in that unfinished space, there's going to be insulation that lays on top of the living area. This is what generally keeps your house warm. So what you do is think of this space above the insulation as we'll call it a heat sink. This is a place for warm air to collect and move out of the living space and into the attic space. Hopefully, we can all do this and all know that we can't have a safe, warm indoor space without having a roof. And again, that only makes sense that to have a safe, warm, and dry home, roof's kind of necessary. But it makes sense to have that holding space in the attic, because this keeps warm air as well as that moist air tucked out of the way. And keep in mind that the more hot air accumulates in the attic, the warmer your home is going to get. So there is some caution with this, because in the summer, excess heat can actually cause shingles to age prematurely, because they're going to be getting it from heat from the outside, directly from the sun, as well as underneath on the inside. In the wintertime, that extra heat doesn't seem like a bad thing. However, hot attics with poor rafter insulation can cause rapid snow melts on your roof. Now, this isn't ideal because overnight it's going to freeze again and going to cause ice dams along the shingles and damage the shingles over time as well. Also, not to mention, warm air, I think most of us know, holds a lot of moisture. And moisture is one of the worst enemies of wood, especially in an unfinished space in your attic. So overheated attics are not ideal for your house, whether it comes from inside or outside. The other attic basic we're going to talk about today are attic vents. These are vents that were developed to help deal with the issue of too much heat accumulating in your attic space. There's a ton of these for sale on the market, and virtually they all have the same end goal, which is to move cool air in from outside, and this pushes hotter air back outside of the house. This effect is actually has a term. It's referred to as the stack effect. And attic vents are more than just an exit vent because these vents need to bring in cooler air as well. Many homes have their intake vents in their soffit space. They're pretty simple, pretty easy to install these type of vents, and these allow that cool air to come in, be drawn into the attic, and that hot air pushed out through either the roof vent or the gable vent. And doing this and just having that cycle through is essentially how your house breathes, because those soffit vents are going to bring in that cool air, and the roof vents are going to basically push that hot air out. And this keeps the climate in your home more stable and drier than just an exit vent alone. Now, the general rule of thumb is you need one soffit vent per 300 square feet of space. That's the general rule of thumb. So that's one to keep in mind. So depending on how much unfinished attic space you have, how much square feet, just one vent. I have soffit vents about every 3 to 4 feet on the front and back of my house, just to draw more air in, to push that hot air out, get rid of as much of that hot air as possible and as much of that moisture as possible as well. So that's it. Those are the basics that we're going to talk about, that happens and that you need to know when it comes to attic vents and ventilation. So that's all I got for you guys today in the hot list. If you have any questions or any additional questions about what we talked about today, feel free to reach out to me no matter where you're listening to it. Just drop it in the comments. Again, I'm your host, Matt Johnson with Keller Williams Realty. I do this because your experience matters and should be trusted with a veteran. Y'all have a phenomenal Monday, and I'll see you back in here tomorrow. Take care.